This video will be an introduction on the Mercenary camp. This is a neutral building you will find on every single map. Each map has a tile set. Some are in the Winter, some are in Northrend, some are in Ashenvale, some are in the Barrens. Regardless, each tile set has its own Mercenary camp. For example, this red one here is from the Lordaeron Summer tile set. This one's from Lordaeron Winter. This one here is from Outland. This one here is from Cityscape. There's plenty more than what's shown here. Pretty much every single tile set has its own mercenary camp. However, we will only be focusing on this one here, the red one. This is from Lordaeron Summer. In every single competitive 1v1 map, this is the mercenary camp. Even if the map is from a different tile set, it will have this mercenary camp. So in this video, we're going to look at the basics of each of the mercenaries from this camp, along with some other tricks you can use to get the fullest value out of a mercenary camp. So let's get started. The purpose of the mercenary camp is to give you access to units you may not have because of your racial limitations, and also to have an ability to bolster your army instantaneously. To recruit a mercenary, you need to have a unit next to the mercenary camp, and then you click on whatever mercenary you want. So for example, if I wanted this one,
let the killing begin.
I click it and I instantly have access to the unit. Another tip you can do is if you don't want a unit to go to the mercenary camp, you can build a building next to the camp, and this building can purchase mercenaries for you. For example, as you can see, I have no units next to it, but I still have access to the mercenary camp. Now let's run through what each of the mercenaries does. So these are the 4 mercenaries you should get comfortable with. These are from this mercenary camp here. The Forest Troll Shadow Priest has pretty low hit points, pretty decent range attack, but the reason why you'd want to get him is for his 2 abilities here. Heal is very useful in the early game. When you're creeping, when you're fighting the enemy player, you're typically going to have low HP units, especially when you're creeping. You want to make sure your units are topped off and ready to fight at full effectiveness. This is where the Shadow Priest comes in. Very cost-effective healing for that tier. Instead of spending all your money buying regeneration scrolls or healing salves from your shop, just pick yourself up a Shadow Priest and have healing on the go. Not only that, he also has Abolish Magic, which allows him to one-shot Spirit Wolves from the Farseer and handle water elementals in the early game, which can be a problem if left unchecked. So, Shadow Priest, very useful mercenary unit. Probably the most common one you'll see anyone get. The next mercenary is the Forest Troll Berserker. He has no abilities to speak of, but he does offer plenty of ranged DPS. This can substantially hasten your creeping in the early game, and if you're really strapped for anti-air, you can always stop by the mercenary camp and buy yourself a Troll Berserker.
Who'd you want to kill?
Not too much to say about this guy, just really solid range DPS. And to compare, the Rifleman has between 18 and 24, while the Troll Berserker has 28 to 37. So he definitely can pay for himself if you use him properly. It comes at a cost of 245 gold and 30 wood. Pretty expensive, but if you know what you're doing, he can definitely pay for himself. Next one is a bit of an uncommon pick. You won't usually see people buy this, but we'll cover it anyways. This is the Mud Golem. He has very pitiful combat stats, very low health, only 20 more health than a peasant, while he does damage comparable to a footman and no armor. He's pretty weak when he's fighting. However, his main purpose is his slow ability. Slow is a very powerful combat ability. It slows enemy attack rate by 25% and movement speed by 60. You can easily catch and surround anything that's slowed. So if you really need this ability, go for it. He's not that bad of a pickup, but is you'll be hard pressed to find someone who go out of the way to buy it. The last mercenary is the Ogre Mauler. He has 850 health and does pretty decent damage. His main purpose is just to body block and just to be like a frontliner. If you just need a guy in melee, you get the Ogre Mauler. He does come at a price of about 300 gold. That is pretty expensive. Since he has comparable stats to a Grunt, which costs 200 gold. But if you really need a frontliner, if you just need anything right now, he's not that bad of a pickup to get. A final note about the Mercenary camp. The mercenaries are not available right away. The game has its own day and night cycle. As you can see, the time of day right now is around 1640. The Troll Shadow Priest is available at 1400 from when the game starts all the way to 1400. The Troll Berserker will be available at 1900. And the Mud Golem and the Ogre Mauler will be available when the second day begins. So, letting you know that there is initial timing and that you can't just rush the mercenary camp and buy all of them right away. You'll have to wait them out a little bit. You should be able to get the Shadow Priest and the Troll Berserker in a reasonable time, however. So do keep that in mind. I hope that my little tutorial on the mercenary camp has increased your knowledge about the game and makes you more confident in playing it. I know it can be kind of hard, like when you're new and you are clicking new things and you look at all these mercenaries and you're like, what the hell do all these do? Especially when you're playing like a competitive 1v1 and you just don't have the time to just sit there and read them or take the risk of buying them. So I hope you got something out of this video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Let me face the peril.
I hope you have a good day.